Good morning. It's Friday, July 18th. And yes, we are on our way to Colorado. So that's cool. I think we're going to go through Nebraska this time. I decided, you know what, we're going to go take a look at Chimney Rock because I've never been there before. So we'll swing by there on our way down. A little bit out of the way, but only about 20 minutes out of the way, so I think it's worth a look. And you can see it's kind of a gloomy morning, although I think we're going to ride out of that pretty quick. Started off decently when I was getting ready, but then right about as I left is when the fog started rolling in, so which, if you watched enough of these, you know that's nothing new for a road trip that I'm on. But that's okay. We'll manage. And it's not even that bad a fog, so I think we'll be okay. Not as bad as last year's was. And hell, at least it's not storming on us, so that's the kind of year it's been. Well, I'll tell you, this is maybe a weird opinion, but I sometimes think this is the best part of the road trip, is right when you're starting. When you haven't experienced anything yet, so you don't really know what's going to happen. I mean, you got a plan in your head on what's going to happen, but you don't really know what's going to happen. So you kind of, there's that nervous energy and excitement. Nervousness because you're like, well, hopefully everything works out and, you know, nothing breaks. Especially after the last road trip we had where we had to do about $500 worth of repairs on this thing. But you think of all the road trips I've been on, and that was the first road trip that actually involved a repair. Although the worst of it wasn't the repair that was the worst of it. The worst of it, too, was it was a self-inflicted wound. It was because I screwed up. It's something that I could have prevented had I just done things right. Although the tinfoil hat wearer inside of me says that those fork seals have never been done right in there. So I swear to God, both times I did them exactly how they came out. So, which would mean that not only were the last fork seals I put in backwards, but the one before it were backwards, and the ones that were put in before it were backwards. Oh well, it's long in the past now. At least I was able to fix those issues, so, but really, the goal of this trip is just to go do some ride around Colorado. Actually, the bigger part of this trip is the Minnesota Twins are playing at the Colorado Rockies this weekend. So we're going to check out Game 1 tonight. That actually is the main goal of the trip, is to go watch the Twins play live again. It's been a while. I think it was September of... I think it was their second to last game in 2019 is the last time I saw the Twins play live, and that was over at Target Field, Minneapolis. So this will be my first time watching the Twins in Coors Field in Denver. Won't be my first game in Coors Field. I want to say it was back about 2016, no, it was earlier than that, like 2013, 2014. Went down there, I think it was a Sunday. Yeah. Actually, no. It was even earlier than that. That was 2010. Jeez, 2010, man. Yeah, it was 2010. Because I was on orders at that point. Gosh, oh yeah, Memorial Day weekend 2010 we went down. That's right. Yep, that's right. And yeah, they were playing the Dodgers. That was still when, well, this is how old it was. Manny Ramirez was playing with the Dodgers. That's how long ago that was. And then when I was down there, I went down there when I went to work for the oil field. You had to do a 2-week safety school. Well, that was over in at a community college in Westminster. And then they'd put you through a CDL school too, so that was 2.5 weeks or so over in Commerce City. So in that time, me and the guys I kind of hung out with that were going to work at the same place, we went to a lot of Rockies games. Of course, that would have been 2007. That was the year that they lost the World Series to the Red Sox. But we did a lot of games in the rock pile, and that was when the rock pile seats were $4. If you've never been to Coors Field, the rock pile is basically the stands are way up in the top part of center field. Like, you can't get much further away from home plate there. So yeah, they were $4 at that time, so it was like perfect. $4 for your seats. A couple beers and some super nachos would cost you about $10, and you were entertained. Somewhere out there is Nebraska. As you can see, like you can barely see the State Line Casino over there. Huh. Well, there is Nebraska right there. Nope, it's gotten very foggy. I was hoping it would improve by now, but obviously it has not. So once again, we're kind of in our standard, well, we're going on a trip, so oh well, I guess if I gotta have fog, it's better than rain. It's better than severe weather and all that crap too, so, but such is the fun of taking a ride on a motorcycle a ways away. Well, looks like our fog has finally gone away, although it didn't take that long. I probably recorded that last video about 20 minutes ago. Which is good, because I can show you probably one of the most scenic spots of this part of Nebraska, which is just south of Shadron here. I can't remember what the heck these hills are called, but they're just a little bitty batch of hills just right south of Shadron and Gordon, which is kind of a nice little break, because let's be honest, Nebraska's pretty wide open. Which that's what Nebraska is. It's just wide open spaces and lots of corn in the east, and well, there's a decent amount out here too. But like I said, we can't completely dismiss Nebraska outright, because they got some pretty areas. You just kind of got to know where to find them. You'll notice there's still some haze in the air, and I'm pretty sure that's just from wildfire smoke, which another summer tradition here in North America. Used to be Western North America, now it's all of the East gets to deal with it too, so oh well. Two little lakes down there. Like I said, for me, this is one when I go through Nebraska. This is kind of, to me, a little highlight of going through Nebraska is coming through here. Really, in the end, when you're just if you're not stopping at Chimney Rock, really you got two options where I live. You can either go through Wyoming or go through Nebraska, and really the difference is about 10 minutes. I would guess before Wyoming raised their speed limits to 70, it's probably virtually the same. Let's see, according to GPS, we're about an hour and 21 minutes away from Chimney Rock, so we'll keep riding through these little spot here. Like I said, it's not a very big spot. It's maybe about 5-10 miles at tops. This is where Chadron State Park is. Apparently that was Nebraska's first state park. Didn't know that. I guess I've never read that sign all the way. I feel like if I had to live in Nebraska, I feel like this little spot wouldn't be so bad. And there you go, that's pretty much the end right there. Like I said, there ain't much to it. Even the Nebraska National Forest. And there you go. That's all. We'll see you at Chimney Rock. Look at what we've stumbled across. Oh, speed limit's 55 on this road. Yeah, maybe I should speed up, eh? There we go. There is the Chimney Rock. Kind of small. Still kind of cool though. Well, like I said, I'm glad that I went to see it. But we may take a look inside the visitor center though. It looks like, yeah, looks like it's open. Well, we're gonna take a picture, and then, yeah. All right, we're here. Well, there we are. There we were. Old Chimney Rock. Just a random rock. So, I've never seen the pictures where it shows that. They kind of make it seem like it's just this little rock just out in the middle of nowhere on its own, and there's other stuff around too, so, but alrighty, well, let's move along. Oh, here's another little nice part of Nebraska here. Coming south of Scottsbluff and Gering. I gotta say though, I am so glad to be finally getting some good serious mileage on this bike again, because this summer has been bad for it, very much so. Yeah, it was starting to be a pretty slow year. I don't even think I had 1,000 miles on the bike this year as of this morning, so. But unfortunately, a lot of crap going on this year. It's just too much stuff going on. Had to put in that carport, which meant all that time that we were working on that when I could have been spending time on getting the house painted from the hail, getting the deck stained from the hail, all that crap. I couldn't do all that this spring, so I'm doing that now. So it's, you know, basically that carport kind of really screwed the pooch, but I will say this, at least it's done now, and I very much enjoy the fact that it went up well and it looks good, and it's nice to have something covered to park things under nowadays. So, but yeah, it feels good. But anyways, yeah, there's the nice part again, and it's gone. That's kind of the motto around here. It's like you get 10 miles of pretty nice, and then that's about it. So, but well, I guess we're gonna keep moving along. I don't know if I'm being brave or stupid, but ended up over here in Cheyenne. But when I punched in where I was going and one of the stops I wanted to make, well, actually I want to go to Cycle Gear in Thornton, which is just north, or on the north side of the metro. And when I punched it in, it said, hey, go back to Cheyenne. So, okay. The reason why I say I don't know if it's a good idea or not, because, well, it's Frontier Days this week. And if you don't know what Frontier Days is, it's basically just a big old massive rodeo. That's all it is, just a big massive rodeo in Cheyenne, Wyoming. And it's one of the big ones for sure. But that's why also we are not going to be making a stop in Cheyenne. We're just gonna drive on through. But the ride's been going good so far. We're still doing good. It's about 80 degrees, not a terrible temperature. Bike's running good. But I can check off another little road off my off where I've been. So, I mean, nothing special about it. Just the connection from Highway 85 to over to, let's see, Highway 385 over in Nebraska. So. Interesting road for sure. Although I kind of run about every route down here I can think of now, I think. But I'm down here enough where you kind of want to do different things and kind of keep it mixed up a little bit of variety. So if I'm on the bike, I always come down 85. But if I'm on the bike, I usually try to go a different way if I can, if I'm, you know, kind of got time to kill, which when you generally always leave at 5 to 6 in the morning on your motorcycle trips, you generally got time to kill, so. But that's a good way to go, I think. Well, other than that, we're making good time for obviously getting down there. I figured hotel check-ins at 3. I figure I kind of want to get there right at 3. Basically, I want to get there, get unpacked, get checked in. I want to get in there as quickly as I can, so I got plenty of time to get to downtown. And the reason I'm staying out at DIA is because, well, which, yeah, that's where I'm staying, is at a hotel out by TIA. But the reason I did that is because, well, I have some choice privileges points that expire, like this month or next month, and I wanted to use them before they expired. So, and that was what of it was available for the points, and wasn't infested with bed bugs or smelled like it or had black mold everywhere. So that was the other two options. There's the old Frontier Days up there on the side there. Yeah, I made the mistake one time of, well, I didn't make the mistake. The people I was with made the mistake of, hey, let's fuel up, and, well, in Cheyenne, and, well, like I said, it just happened to be Frontier Days week, and, well, that was an adventure. And Cheyenne is busy enough the way it is on a normal day, but now you throw in there where, you know, you got Frontier Days going on, and my God, just craziness. Well, I see hints of mountains, so that's a good sign too. I like me some mountains. Well, I think we're going to, excuse me, keep rolling along. I don't know, I'm thinking In-N-Out Burger in Loveland sounds pretty good. I guess we'll check in with you later. Well, lunch is done. You could say I was in and out. Kinda, I mean, middle of the day pretty busy, but still. Get there. Oh, good. Maybe ABS light's still on. Well, maybe it's finally going to actually show me what's wrong. That would be nice. Because it came up on me last year and, well, it just never told me what was wrong. But, it is what it is. Hopefully, we'll get it better. But there's that. We're on our way to cycle gear. Very nice. They put a cycle gear on the north side of the metro now. Because that's been the worst is Revzilla's downtown. Cycle gear was in Lakewood. And then Performance Cycle is way down in Centennial. So yeah, you spent a lot of time going to places. Oh, well, let's see if this thing will let me go through. We may just cheat it, who knows. Yeah, we'll pull up just to make sure that they register. Okay, that should register them. Anyways, yeah, we'll tune into you later, I guess.
The next day.
Good morning, everybody. First of all, I'd like to apologize for, well, not closing out yesterday's video. So yeah, last night, got to the hotel, well, yesterday afternoon. Got in there, got everything unloaded, got my phone charged up, and went and did the game. And I will say this, I had a good time, although the Twins lost, which I can't say I'm really shocked. One thing that sucks as well, they lost to like the worst team in baseball by far. Like historically bad baseball team. So I think that pretty much unequivocally proved last night that yes, the Twins are not a playoff team. They've never been a playoff team. I know the positive people always be like, oh no, yeah, come on. They're not a playoff team. They're not catching Detroit, and they're not going to be a contender in wild card. It just is what it is. But either way, had a good time.